All right, so here we go.
What's up, guys? Bars Unlimited back with another reaction video. Jake, Bryson here, and today we are getting back into more DAX. We did DAX previously on this channel. We reacted to the song My Heart Hurts. That song is still on my playlist. I still listen to it pretty consistently, and I just like it more and more and more every time that I listen to it. And today we are going to be doing Dear God. I believe I've heard this song like once or twice. It's a good song, really powerful song, one of Jake's favorite songs, which is part of the reason that we wanted to bring this to you, and just the powerful like messaging in it. I think it's a song that a lot of people can just relate to.
Yeah, like this song has been a very personal and close one to me for a long time because, you know, when going through things, one of the things I like to talk to is the higher up, and I always, you know, a lot of these questions in here that you'll see Dax read off, I have, and I just relate to the song so much. Like someone who's more religious, like Bryson, you know, like I definitely believe he's heard this song before. I've heard this song many times. I've seen the video a lot too.
Yeah,
because it's just an incredible song. Like, and definitely I believe it ties into a lot of people's struggles, especially during COVID times. People are going through a hard time, and they're probably asking some of these same questions that Dax here plays in the song that you're about to see. So
yep,
whenever you're ready.
And I just wanted to say real quick too, we got the lyrics pulled over to the right side, and this is actually a comment that apparently Dax made in an interview or something. He said, "I think I say it at the start of the song, I am a believer, but sometimes it gets hard. So I think my relationship with God, and also I think a lot of people's relationships, is that like when you're born, you're so malleable, you know what I mean? So you learn to speak from your parents, you take on their accent, and basically whatever their beliefs are, you adopt. So I've always believed in God, and I still do. I've never not believed in God, but I think as you grow older and you start to figure out there's a world around you, and you can think for yourself, you develop these questions. So I think that's where Dear God sort of came from. It's the walk through a believer's life." And he went on to say some other stuff, but I just think that's like a really powerful thing too, because in my own walk, that's definitely something that I experience. Is my parents raised me to believe in God, and so there was never a question for me. Like I looked at other people that believe differently, and I was like, especially because I grew up in a Christian school. From when I was 5 till the time I was in high school, I went to a Christian school. So especially when I was little, I was like, wait, there are people out there that don't believe this stuff?
Yeah,
like what? That doesn't make any sense to me. Like it just was taught to me as fact. You know what I mean? And I know that you know, you can debate all this different stuff and on whether or not this is fact and this is fact. It's all about what you choose to believe, and I choose to believe that it is real to me.
Yep.
And so but I really like how he touched that, because I can definitely relate to that. It's like my parents groomed me into believing this stuff, and for a while I went through a stage where I was like, well, I still believe, but
what gives?
What's up?
Yeah,
like what's up with this? And so yeah. So anyways, let's actually get into the video. I just wanted to talk about that real quick.
All right, then we got Dax, Dear God. Here we go.
Sometimes it gets hard. My name's Dax. Dear God, there's a lot of questions that I have about the past, and I don't want to hear it from a human. You made it, so you're the last person that I'm ever gonna ask. Tell me what's real, tell me what's fake. Why is everything about you a debate? What's the point of love? Every time I showed it I was broken, and it's forced me just to only want to hate. Why Why is it only one you but multiple religions? Why does every conversation end in a division? Why does everybody want to tell us how to live, but they won't listen to the same damn message that they give it? Tell me how to feel, tell me what's wrong.
Yeah, that's definitely a big one, is people, hypocrites. People telling you you have to be like this and you got to do this and that, but then they don't live it themselves. Like,
Yeah,
it's just
you're like
mind-blowing.
You're like looking at them and they're a different person on Sunday than they are Monday through Saturday, and
Yeah.
you're like, well, what the heck, man? Like, you're
Like-
telling me to do this, and then I see you over here doing that. It's like, oh, well, I mean, like, for instance, I mean, we don't want to get into it too much because that's not what this is about. But like with the Catholic Church is a big one, you know, with the all the things that, you know, that have happened under their watchful eyes with the boys, and
Yeah.
you know, you guys know what we're talking about. But again, you know, you're in a position where people are looking at you trying to be a Christian and stuff like that, and you're allowing and doing stuff like that. What?
Yeah.
Why?
Like why is that being allowed in like the home of God? And
Like how? Yeah, exactly. Like how the hypocrites, like you said, is a huge one for a lot of people. A lot of people that I talk to that either struggle with religion or just don't straight up don't believe. That's one of the first things that I hear a lot of them say is like, well, you know, there's a lot of people that claim to be religious and believe in all this stuff, but then you look at their actions and you think, well,
that's not very holy of you, sir.
yeah, exactly. And especially when they act with the holier than thou kind of attitude,
Yeah.
and then they do that stuff, then you're like, oh, okay, so that's what it is, just a giant scam.
Yeah.
And I get it. I completely understand where see that.
Yeah.
I
And
completely
I know
understand.
a few people like that too, and it just makes you go, all right then, well.
Yep, I hear you.
I tried to call, pick up the phone, I'm on my own. Everybody said you coming back to man, why the hell's it taking so long? Why do I hurt? Why is there pain? Why does everything good always have to change? Why does everybody try to profit off another man's work then destroy it just for monetary gain? Tell me, are you black or are you white? I don't even really care, I just really want to know what's right. They've been saying one thing, but I've been looking in the book, and it seems like they've been lying for my whole damn life. Tell me where I'm going. Is it heaven or hell? I just hope this message greets you well. Had a dream that I was walking with the devil. Don't remember how it feels, but I swear that I remember the smell. Looked me right into my eye and told me everything I wanted could be mine if I gave up and decided to sell. But I said I'd rather die than get mine. Now I'm here. No fear, one man with a story to tell. Dear.
Wow, really, really, really powerful stuff, right?
And like I believe the reason that Dax said this thing about he had a dream that he was walking with the devil, and how the devil said he looked him right into his eyes and said everything he wanted could be his if he gave up and decided to sell. There was a one point where Dax was getting a lot of hate because he was like selling out to like to have fame. But
Yep.
he's really made that good relapse turnaround of saying, you know, F that, you can take that offer back. I don't want it.
Yep.
And that's like one of the reasons I respect Dax now, because there was a point where I was like, all right, this guy's just trying to be like everyone else for clout. But now
Yep.
he's one of my favorite artists right now.
And I actually listened to a freestyle that he did. I think he said, or I think it was ZZ freestyle, where he literally talked about that. How he said he's literally just going to do what all these other guys do and just put no effort into anything till he gets famous. Then he's going to get back to the content stuff. And I understand. And I also understand to a point that once you get to a certain level, then you can broadcast your music to the audience and have more people checking in than you otherwise would, and really get your message out there. But that comes at the expense of exactly what Jake was just talking about.
Yep.
People thinking that you're selling out.
Yep. And then that's what he went through. There's so many people giving him hate. A lot. I always saw it on that cipher that the strange music artist recognized it. Dax was on it, and there was so many hate comments, and they're like, "You guys are messing up having Dax on this one," and stuff like that.
Yep.
And I was like, "Damn."
Yep. And like, yeah, I mean, like I said, I understand why he did it, but you have to know when you do something like that, that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it's not hard to, especially when you openly admit that's what you're trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, well, that comes at the expense of losing some people along the way. Because if people, I've always thought that if you really are that person and people are just going to buy into you and you have talent, at some point you're going to get the recognition.
Yep.
If you're putting in the work, you're putting in the effort, and you're staying true to who you are and doing everything that you can, it will come. But if you want to fast line it, which is what he did, he wanted to fast line it by putting out all these bullcrap Percocet and lean type of jams that nobody cares about. And then, like I said, they think that he sold out because it's like, well, what is this? We know what you're capable of. What is this garbage? And he's like, oh, well, I'm just trying to, gain a fan base. Well, you already have a fan base. And if you're dope, like a song like Dear God, I mean, you put something out like that, you're going to get people checking it out. I guarantee you this would be hot on YouTube regardless. Just because of the content, the subject matter. I mean, this is just I don't know. It's just like, I mean, I hate that he's struggling with it and stuff. I feel bad that that's the case, but at the same time, he kind of asked for it.
Yeah.
And I just really wish that he hadn't gone about it that route. Because from the songs that I've heard, like I said, I've heard Catch Me Outside, How About That, which wasn't a great representation. I've heard this song, though, My Heart Hurts, and I also heard Faster, the song he did with Tech Nine. But just songs like this tell me he's really dope. And I just don't think he needed to do that to get where he is. Because he's dope. He doesn't need that.
100%.
So,
100%.
I feel bad that he's struggling with it, but at the same time, it's like, come on, man. Like, if you would have just put the work in and kept grinding, you would have gotten your success because he's dope.
Yeah.
He's dope. So, oh well. All right, let's get back into it.
Oh, there it is again.
Hold on, guys. We're going to skip to the next song here.
Yeah.
God, where were you when I needed it? When I fucked up and repeated it? When they set the bar and I exceeded it? My life is like a book that they've been judging by a cover, but I've never took the time to fucking read the shit. I remember telling you my goals and my dreams, but you didn't even answer, so I guess you didn't believe in it. I remember sitting with a gun to my head trying to ask you for some help, but I guess you didn't believe it. I don't want religion, I need that spirituality. I don't want a church, I need people to call a family. I don't want to tell my sins to another sinner just because he's got a robe and you went to some academy. I don't want to read it in the book, I want to hear it from you. Don't want to learn it in my school because they hiding the truth. Don't want to talk about it to another fucking human being, and that's the only reason that I even stepped in this booth. Dear God, how do I take this darkness and turn it into light? How do I believe in the concept where I speak to a man I've never seen with my own two eyes? How do I know that religion wasn't made just to separate the world and create a whole sky just to keep us in these chains while the rich get richer and the poor pray to you and perpetuate a lie? How do I know this ain't some big joke? How can I have faith when there is no hope? How the hell does one man have $100 billion and we still have people on the street that are broke? There's a lot of things I want to talk about and get off my chest. I can't sleep because the devil won't let me rest. I used to know a fucking pastor in a church and I can still hear the screams of the kids he will fucking molest. Dear God, do you hear me? I'm supposed to fear you, but you ain't said shit. So maybe it's you who actually fears me. I don't know the answer, I just want to see it clearly. So many lies, 1,000 different theories. All I want to know is who really made religion, because I know it wasn't you, but don't nobody believe me. No more lies, no more death. Bring back King, bring back X. Please, dear God, let their souls rest. Protect who's left and watch their steps. Dear God, I don't want to have to ask you again. I just hope that you know that I'm still a believer, so I'll end this all by saying amen. It's DAX.
Always chills me out at the end there when that happens. Like when he rises up and then it's just like, okay, well, I hope that whatever's trying to play doesn't play. Okay. But yeah, like, the music video was insane. Like, how they did such a good job at the setting. I thought the setting was amazing for, like, the time frame. Like, he's trying to set it back in the days of, like, you know, the Roman Empire and, you know, Jesus and stuff like that. And I just thought it was, like, that was, the music video was great with it, you know. And just the lyrics, you hear it in his emotions because he yells, he gets right up there, and he just really wants to know he really wants to have some damn, like, some questions. And one of the lines that he said that I really wanted to talk about was, He says, while the rich get richer and the poor pray to you who perpetuate a lie. He said, and then he goes to saying, how the hell does one man have $100 billion and we still have people in the streets that are broke? Like, with a question mark. He's like, how? He's questioning, like, how do, like, you let that happen, or how do we let that happen? Like, how is that a thing that this man can have all this money and all this stuff, and there's one guy who's at the bottom? He wants answers, and I'm like, I'd like to know that too sometimes. Like,
Yep. I really, that's just like a really powerful song, and even though, like, to some, like, I completely understand where he's coming from with a lot of the things that he was talking about. I also have had many of the same questions myself, and I am far, far, far from an expert on anything having to do with this. At the end of the day, everybody has their perspective, and their perspective generally comes through things that they themselves have experienced.
yep,
And in some cases, it's very difficult when you haven't experienced things, or you don't see things that other people talk about happening in your own life.
it's hard to relate to.
It's hard to relate to it. And then and then you hear certain people that are kind of, I guess you'd say, up on the pedestal a little bit, talking about how easy it seemingly is, but that's based on their experience, not your experience. Your experience is probably completely different.
Yep.
Otherwise, you wouldn't be asking this.
Yeah.
So what I will say is that, being somebody that used to be where he was at with a lot of these things, I feel that I am at a point now where, even if I don't know the answers to some of these questions, I feel that I at least have found a way to accept that either I don't know the answer or found an answer that works for me.
Yep.
And that is based on my experience. Again, somebody else's experience may be completely different. And I now feel that I have a close relationship with the Lord and all these other things. So I'm just saying that for me, I feel like I've kind of, I guess you want to say, graduated from this point of view. And I feel like I have a little bit better understanding. But even with that being said, I think this is just really powerful. First of all, I love that he's not afraid to share this and talk about these kind of things, because it is a real thing, for one. And then the other thing is too, is I don't know, I just think that it was just a well done song. I think the music video went with it for sure.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, I think it was a well done song, and yeah, thumbs up for Dax on that one.
It's his most, I think, popular song right now. It's
Yep.
so many views, and it's one of the ones that means the most to him.
Yep.
And I heard this when I got back from some training I went and did, and I was like, wow, this is. I love that. I still listen to this song all the time because like I said, I'm going through my personal problems, and I'm at my point right now where I have these questions. But
Yep.
for me, it's a playlist. For me, this song is amazing. Dax, keep doing
Yep.
good things, dude.
And one thing that I did want to say too is that I think part of the problem with just religion in general is the fact that most of the time you just never will find out really the answer.
Mm-hmm.
You just really, like, you hear all the time, like, oh, well, how come this person that's done all these horrible things is still living, but then this Christ follower or whatever that was living his best life and helping people and doing all this other stuff got taken away from whatever? Or how come this person had to die in a DUI because of this person's stupidity? Or how come this had to happen to this person and not this people? Why are there people starving? Why is this? Why is that? And I think the problem is really that there just really is not an answer.
Yep.
Because you can hear people give you their version of what they think the answer is.
But it's gonna be different with like everybody.
But it's different with everybody, and that's not really a solution either.
Yeah.
Because usually when people are asking these questions, it's because they're in pain. And hearing these answers like, oh, just trust the process and believe that it's going to work out, that's not always easy. Because, like I said, you're approaching it from a position of pain. It's not like you're just sitting back, oh, yeah, objectively, I can see this and I can do that. No, you're in it. And so hearing that is difficult to hear. With that being said, like I said, I feel that I have found at least answers that work for me to some of these questions. But I also understand that that's just what works for me. That doesn't work for everybody. And even those answers are not like super clear.
Yep.
It just, you got to find what works for you. And I have, and other people are still there. And that's completely fine.
Yep.
There's nothing wrong with saying, hey, I want to believe or I do believe, but I just don't get it. And I think being honest about where you are is the first step to getting better.
Yeah.
A lot 100%. Of times. So, I don't know. For me, when I was here, that's what happened. Is I started having these questions and I was open and honest, and as a result of that, of being kind of upset and stuff for a while and having these questions, I got to the other side of it because I was open and honest with where I was at. And hopefully, you know, that happens for you. And if you guys are in the same position, hopefully that happens for you as well. So, but yeah, great song, powerful song. And yeah, I definitely probably a playlist song for me as well. Like I said, I've heard it a couple of times, but it's a good song. Just take the you know, what he's talking about really carries the song, and a lot of people can relate to it. So I think thumbs up for that one, definitely.
All right, guys. Well, this has been Dax's Dear God. We have Bryson and Jacob Bars Unlimited bringing it to you guys officially here. If you guys want to check out the song, it's on Dax's YouTube channel. It's got over 26 million views, and I don't even know, 813,000 likes and 33,000 dislikes. I think that's still a pretty good ratio. But
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, this has been Dax's Dear God, Bryson and Jake.
See you guys
next time.